Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today I'm so excited we get to speak about spooky books to read for Halloween. I'm so excited. It's finally fall. Yesterday actually just turned fall, but I'm excited for it. So I got quite a few books to go through. Some of them you already know about, but let's get going. So, enough said. Brave Flowers by Autumn Claus. You guys already know about it, so I talked about a lot of this channel, but in case you forget, it's a twisty dark royal court fantasy that takes the courtly intrigue of Hamlet and infuses it with the vicious ambition of the Boylan family. So, I'm really excited to read this. So, my next one is from Natasha Princeton, and it's The Haunting. Penny knows she must forget about her ex, Nash, ever since his father was revealed as the brutal serial killer who traumatized a small town. Last Halloween, Penny's parents forbidden her to have anything to do with Nash or his family. It's hard not to think of him, but she's trying. She's also the author of The Lake and the Island, so I have read The Island. It was pretty good, so I am quite intrigued for this one. My next one is from Darcy Coates. It's Dead Lake. She thought she was alone. Sam is excited to spend a week at her uncle's remote lakeside cabin. It's a chance for her to focus on her art, one of the distractions. No neighbors, no phone, and only a small venue to keep her company. It's perfect. But there's something deeply unnatural in enjoying by the lake. So, really interested. My next one, I have also talked about this. It's The Library of Shadow by Rachel Moons. Radcliffe Platt, the most haunted school in the country, where a student disappears out on a common, and no one dares stay in the library after dark, and where Esther Loganis enrolls with the hopes of finding her dead father. Not literally, of course. She doesn't believe in ghosts, going to her dad's school just to make her best hope and to figure out who he was. Exciting stuff. My next one is The Mystery Rider by Sulari Gentile. There's nothing easier to dismiss than a conspiracy theory until it turns out to be true. When Theodosia Benton abandons her career path as an attorney and shows up on her brother's doorstep with 2 suitcases and an unfinished novel, she expects to face a few challenges. Will her brother support her ambition or send her back to finish her degree? What will her parents say when they learn of her decision? Does she even have what it takes to be a successful writer? We're gonna find out. And then this one, it's Out of Air by Rachel Reese. Phoebe Phibbs Bay is never more at home than when she's on the water. 6 months ago, she and her 4 closest friends found social media fame after discovering a handful of ancient gold coins in the Florida Keys. Now, during their final summer together after high school, they're taking one last trip to a distant Australian island to do what they love most, scuba dive. While diving in a local reef, Phibbs discovers a particular underwater sea cave, rumored to be a lost cave with a buried treasure. But when Phibbs and her best friend Gabe surface from the cave, they begin undergoing strange changes, oozing gashes that don't heal, haunting whispers in their heads. Something has latched onto them, lurking beneath the skin, transforming them from the inside out. Quite interesting. I wish I could see underwater as my home, but I'm terrified of the deep and sharks. Those 2 combined, no thank you. So, other than the swimming pool deep end, I am okay with that. The ocean, forget it. But I do just scuba dive, so I don't know. Maybe next time. And my next one is also from Darcy Coates, The Haunting of Ashburn House. I can't remember if I read this book. I don't think I have, but let's see what happens. Even though I did have talked about this a long time ago, but there's something wrong with Ashburn House. Everyone knows about Ashburn House. They whisper that its old owner went mad and restless, ghosts still walk the halls. But when Andrea Nesbitt and in need of a place to stay inherits the crumbling old mansion, she only sees it as a lifeline until darkness falls. My next one is The Woods Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. Bears are the only predators in these woods. Best friends Nina and Josie spent high school as outsiders, but at least they had each other. Now with college and a 2,000-mile separation looming in the horizon, they have one less chance to be together. A 3-day hike deep into the woods of the Pishka National Forest. The shimmering tension leads to a detour off the trail and straight into a waking nightmare. And then something far worse, something that will test them in horrifying ways. Quite interesting. I love how it's like glow, like the glowing effect. I love that. My next one, I'm kind of torn between this just because I haven't really heard great reviews of this book, but I still want to read it regardless. That's Lady Macbeth by Anna Reid. The lady knows the stories that her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she will be wed to the Scottish brute who does not leave his warrior race behind when he comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his hostile suspicion court will be a game of survival, requiring all of her wills and hidden witchcraft to survive. So, I still want to read this despite what the reviews say, but we will see. I do want to read more about Lady Macbeth. I think she's quite a fascinating character in, Macbeth, so we will see. So this book is actually from the library, and I'm actually currently doing this one another challenge that I like to do, and Stephen King Institute. In the middle of the night, in a house on a quiet street in suburban Minneapolis, intruders silently murder Luke Ellie's parents and load him into a black SUV. The operation takes less than 2 minutes. Luke will wake up at the institute in a room that looks just like his own, except that it's no window. And outside his door are other doors, behind which are other kids with special talents, telekinesis and telepathy, who got to this place the same way Luke did. Felicia, Nick, George, and Iris, and the youngest of them, 10-year-old Allie Dixon. They're all in front half, unless Luke learns graduating black half. Unlike the Roach Motel College says, kids check in, but they don't check out. I actually really want to read it, but then after reading a review, there was a certain scene that was in it that should have not been in it at all. I'm like, you know what, no, I don't want to read it anymore, so, yeah. My next one is The Orphanage by the Lake by Daniel G. Millen. A missing girl, an orphanage filled with secrets. Hazel wants a new life. She's 30 years old, single, and her private reservation business is months away from folding. Her luck takes a turn when Madeline Hemsley, a mysterious socialite, pays Hazel a visit with an offer too enticing and to resist. An orphan girl has disappeared from a children's home from the orphanage by the lake, as the locals call it, and Madeline wants Hazel to find her. I'm actually listening to this as an audiobook, and that's A Treachery of Swans by A.V. Poranek. I think it's a retell of Swan Lakes. So far, it's not bad yet. Can two girls want a chance and one of the enchantress save the kingdom and each other? All her life, Ardea's father, a vengeful sorcerer, has raised her for one singular task. She is to infiltrate the royal palace and steal the king's crown, an artifact with enough power to restore the magic stolen from her kingdom. But to enter the palace, Ardea must assume the identity of a noble woman. She chooses Marie de Audet, famed for her beauty and rumored candidate for her future queen, and Ardea's childhood friend turned sworn enemy. So far, I like it so far. It's not bad. So, yeah. And my next one is Hecate by Nikita Gill. Look at this cover. I love it. This is an ancient story written long before us. It is a tale full of gods and monsters, divine wars and ghosts, a tangled mess made by the divine and the mortal, mothers and daughters, the sacred and the courageous, wounds both healed and unhealed, and the grief that grows in the absence of our love. There is joy and friendship too, homegrown and pieced together by careful, gentle fingers. At the heart of the story is a girl looking for answers. At the soul of the story is a divine goddess within us all. Oh, it's a poet. Okay, I did not expect that. I was actually legit thinking it was like an actual story. Huh, that is quite interesting. I'm intrigued now. Okay. And my last one is from Natasha Princeton. It's The Lake. Esme and Kayla once were campers at Camp Pine Lake. Now they're back as counselors in training. Esme loves little girls in her cabin and thinks it's funny and how scared they are of everything. The woods, the bugs, the boys, even swimming in the lake. It reminds of how she and Kayla used to be before. And those are all the books that could be read for Halloween. I'm so excited. The Hecate totally took me by surprise. I didn't even expect it to be an actual poem. So that's fun. But yeah, let me know what are your spooky reads for Halloween, and please like, comment, subscribe, and so let me know if I never time post. I will see you on my next one. Bye!